You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, Pop-Up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
I know karate, I know jiu-jitsu, I drive like a gangster when I'm coming to see you, see you. See you, see you.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
The following program contains coarse language and adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to another episode of the Cocktail Lounge. I am your hostess with the mostest, Aggie, and with me as always is the ever suave, affable, and quaffable co-host, Brad Slager. How are you doing this evening, Brad?
We're doing very well. We're going to have to do one episode like from a Holiday Inn bar. That kind of intro music, it just seems appropriate. Hey, Murph and the Magic Toads, and now over to Aggie and Brad.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
Are
there any bars at Holiday Inns now?
I mean, I do have a DJ voice. I could work this up for you guys if you really, really wanted to. Just saying. I don't use it much, but I do have one.
I'm sure some do. I don't know if they still have the piano lounge going, that, you know, cheesy velour carpeting motif from the 70s and 80s, but I'm sure they still exist in some capacity. Now they're mostly sports bars.
Oh, yeah. That wouldn't really jive with our shtick, I guess. I mean, it would jive with your shtick, but not mine.
We need some bossa nova. We need some, cocktail waitresses and coupe glasses. Come on.
Yes, we do. Cigarette girls, you name it. We need those.
Perfect. Exactly.
That would be so fly.
So how's everything been going over in your area in Texas?
It has been really nice. Today was a beautiful day. I think our high was like 68 or 70 around there. So it was
about
really
the same.
Nice.
We're going through a cold snap here. I might actually see the 40s by sunrise.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you can go to the local Target down here tomorrow morning and you'll see Ugg boots all over the place. Just knock it off. Knock it.
I will have you know, I refuse to own one of those. I don't care how warm those things are. I just refuse. I can't. I just can't.
It's like, hey, good morning, Tiffany. Did you kick through a couple of snowdrifts to get here today?
I can't justify it here. I could see it like in, Connecticut, Vermont, Minnesota. I can see it where it snows a lot. I just can't see it here.
Or at all.
True.
I mean, if this is your reaction, do you just pop these on every time you open the refrigerator? Because this is what we're dealing with right here in our weather. It's not exactly anything that we're gutting through. I mean, this is like day 2 of this kind of stuff. I've yet to put on pants. It's just not that frigid, honey.
Oh my gosh, this is tragic. Okay. No, it was a really cool day. And for those of you not aware, Alaska Courtney is visiting right now, so she's going to be with me until about Thursday morning or so. So that'll be nice. And so we've been having fun.
You've got Ugg boots you can borrow. She being from Alaska and all.
She does not own Ugg boots.
Oh, no? Okay.
No. She believes they're very ugly.
Wasn't aware that Alaska was based on fashion. It's usually...
Well, I thought Ugg boots came from, what do you call it? Australia. Isn't it an Australian company that made them?
You're asking me?
Okay, fine, whatever. Never mind.
One, you're talking fashion. 2, you're talking winter fashion. If it's not North Face, I really have no clue.
Okay. No, there we go. Brad has spoken. Okay, so, and how are you?
I'm just saying, I'm like a dead end as far as information on that front. I'm going to go with yes. That's about it.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. I am still transported back for the first time that we met, and we were doing CPAC, and we were doing the show, a live show, and I broke away because this bitch was wearing my shoes, and it happened to be Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what shoes? I'm like, she's wearing Valentinos. And you're like, what?
Yeah, that's when I reach under and put my fingers under your chin and have you peer up a little bit.
Yes.
Notice the face? Ring a bell?
I'm like, oh, okay. Never mind.
Those shoes are attached to somebody. Maybe you want to notice.
It was rather funny.
So did you partake of the football frivolities this weekend? He says with eyes rolling and teeth gritted.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping because the two teams that I wanted to go did not. And now I'm going to be a little confused because you know my method of picking winners, right? I go by either mascots or colors.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or colors, depending, yeah. And so on one hand, I have red and gold, and on the other hand, I have red and gold. And I'm like, I'm host. I don't know who to pick now.
What are you talking about? You can't lose.
Well, I still have to pick one or the other.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a sports book that'll actually just take color. $40 red and gold to win.
I was really rooting for Detroit. I really wanted Detroit to go.
I think everybody in their right mind that doesn't live in California was for Detroit.
Yeah, I was like, San Francisco doesn't deserve to go. I just don't like. There was a time I kind of liked San Francisco because Joe Montana was there, but it did not supersede my love for the Miami Dolphins during the Dan Marino years. So for me, Dan was the man. He was the be-all, end-all. I cannot possibly explain to you how much I adored that man. And it wasn't because he was good-looking or was the best good-looking football player or was Sweeney no, there was just a quality about Dan Marino that I just found very attractive. It wasn't that he was handsome. It was just something. Because, you have Joe Montana, who's also a good-looking man, and I didn't have, okay, look, from a girl's point of view, Joe Montana was pretty fucking hot. Okay.
I could ruin it for you.
Do not.
He's a Jesuit.
Yes, I know. He's a Jesuit.
It's a Notre Dame.
He's a quiet Jesuit.
Oh, is that it?
Yes. It's the loud ones I have an issue with. Specifically the one that's like wearing the fisherman's ring. So, yeah. But there was just, while Dan Marino was playing for the Miami Dolphins, the Dolphins were my team. And there was no be-all and end-all for that. So, but I still recognize that San Francisco was still a good team and everything. But I fell off that wagon a long time ago. And I never, not even with Steve Young, and I didn't care for them. And I didn't want them to go. I just didn't want them to go. I really did not want them to go. But they're going. And I'm verklempt over it.
I watched both games. I wanted Baltimore just for the sake of change. I wanted Detroit because son of a bitch, get to the Super Bowl already, would you guys? Mm-hmm. Neither one won, and I was just overcome with this tidal wave of apathy.
Yeah.
I seriously just don't give a damn about the Super Bowl. I'm previously been invited to a big Super Bowl party. A bunch of our friends, people we know, going to go. We already confirmed like 3 weeks ago. The wife, Buffalo Bills fan that she is already soured on football in general. So she's like, I don't even want to go to that party. It's like, we don't have to watch the games. This is party. And then after this, and both of these teams are going, and she's like, I'll drop you off. I am not going to this. You can still go to the party. It doesn't, it's like you're not obligated to even watch. They've got a pool, they got a bar, they got stuff we can do in the backyard. There's going to be a crap ton of people. Yeah, I'm not going. So I have no idea. I figured a huge party like that would be the perfect tonic for a game you don't give a shit about. Now it's like,
yeah, exactly.
Okay, I am.
It's like the thing. It's like the music that you play in the background type of thing, and then you just have fun with the people that are there and not really pay attention to the game. It's perfect.
I'm thinking a crap ton of food and beer, right?
Yeah, exactly. You pay more attention to the food and the beer.
And
Then you do the game.
People throwing it, they own one of the local restaurants around here, so they know what to do with food. And we went to a party in the summertime at their place, and it was awesome food on the grill, crap ton of food, beer. They had a hockey game on in the outdoor bar. I sat in the pool and watched hockey and ate my butt off and supervised the kids a little bit. And it was a perfect day. It's like, let's do that again. We'll see. We got a couple of weeks before then, and things might shift. We'll see. But yeah, as far as the game goes, I really don't care. Oh, Mahomes is going to win again. Oh, the 49ers are in it again. Super. But the funniest of all, when Kansas City sealed it, by my understanding, there's this upsurge wave of animosity towards Taylor Swift on the conservative side of things. Now, I mean,
Really?
I've seen people, it's like, I'm so sick of her. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, everybody is. That's good. But no, it's gotten more serious. According to Oliver Darcy over at CNN, right-wing media is burning red at Taylor Swift. Now, there's a couple of ways you arrive at this conclusion, and Oliver takes every pathway to this conclusion. First off, it's taking what people on the right are saying seriously, because either A, you don't get it, most of it's a joke, or B, you do get it and just lying your ass off at the reaction. Because, there's some people out there saying, this is a grand conspiracy and the NFL coordinated this so Taylor Swift will win and then she'll endorse Joe Biden and this is going to bring down the... Okay. Anybody saying that is batshit crazy. I don't care what side you're on. I'll say, if you're a conservative and saying there's this grand conspiracy to have Taylor Swift usher Joe Biden back into the White House, I'm going to call you batshit crazy. I'm just going to say it. Okay, if you're not joking, if you're serious and you think there's this this woman who has been a superstar for a decade or so, and a football player who already cemented his Hall of Fame status a couple of seasons ago, are coordinating to get together to suddenly take over our cultures, stop it, okay? You got to stop with the generic Ambien or whatever the hell you're on. Get a grip on your life.
I was going to say peyote, but okay.
Yeah, there's something affecting your judgment if you're even entertaining something like this seriously, which I'm saying most are not.
No. I'm
the
just
people that Oliver Darcy cites as far as these wingnuts on the right is Roseanne Barr.
Wow,
So,
okay.
This is how seriously he's analyzing what's going on the conservative side of things. So apparently Jack Posobiec, he, as Oliver dubs him, a far-right conspiracy theorist, shared a vision of this kind of theory. And then Roseanne Barr, I guess, also repeated such. These are not valid conservative voices is what I'm trying to tell Ollie here. Mr. Reliable Sources.
But
okay?
you know him. He cherry picks everything.
But these are not driving forces on the right. It's like,
No.
what did Roseanne Barr say? Because before I tweet anything out, I need to get her take on it. Nobody's doing this. Sorry. Shut up, Oliver.
No, we do it for the entertainment value because we know that whenever she's responding to some jackass, it's going to be glorious. So that's why I go looking for it. But I don't go looking for it for, social commentary. Culture division, commentary divide, whatever you want to call it.
And he even cites somebody from Salem, Mike Crispy, on our side. So he goes, Mike Crispy says the NFL is totally rigged for the Kansas City Chiefs, Taylor Swift, Mr. Pfizer, Travis Kelce, all to spread Democrat propaganda. Calling it now. KC wins, goes to the Super. He thinks that this is like sane, sober analysis. Like, let me put you people aside and say, no. Crispy's having fun here, okay? He's being hyperbolic. He's being, over the top kind of stuff. So Oliver says all this, right? That is, this is just hysterical thinking. Anybody on the right's doing this kind of stuff. It's just, and they're fearing. But then he goes on to say this. In light of that, he then shifts over to the left. Matt Lewis at the Daily Beast writes that right-wing snowflakes are terrified of Taylor Swift.
How the hell would we be? Why would we be terrified of a 32-year-old girl? Wait, is she 32? Yeah, she's 32.
I'll tell you, Aggie. It's obvious that many on the new right view Swift as a serious threat to Donald Trump's electoral chances.
What? Wait, no, I think she was born in 89.
Matt
so
Lewis.
Do the math.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's going on there. How also this Oliver exuberantly gives us this little nugget. American Airlines has added flights from Kansas City to the Super Bowl host city with the flight number 1989, a nod to Swift's birth year and best-selling album. Now, if people on the right are losing their mind and crazy and nuts for what are you, Oliver, for highlighting this little nugget of cultural trivia?
Oh my God!
If you think this is just super, oh my God! Did you see what American Airlines is doing? They've renamed their flights for her album because that's like the year she was born and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, they're doing it so the Swifties that are going and attending can keep that as a memento. And because more people who are fans of Taylor Swift will take it just for that flight number. Mm-hmm. American, it's a brilliant.
Well, I'm going to take my ticket and I'm going to keep it. I'm going to frame it. I'm going to put it on the wall right next to the poster and right next to the album cover. And it'd be so awesome.
Yes, but the point is they're spending money on that airline. That's what it boils down to. It's a brilliant marketing strategy.
Oh, no, I'm not faulting American Airlines at all. I'm faulting Oliver Darcy, though, for thinking this is a super nugget of info. Got to share this with my readership. Hey, did you know? So if conservatives focus on Taylor, they're nutbags. While he focuses on Taylor's little flight numbers and such. Isn't it cool? It's so cool. I just love that she's in this. Jackass. He also gives us this from TMZ. He even says, Oliver even says this. So yes, take it with a grain of salt, but TMZ reported via sources with direct knowledge that Swift will not be performing in any capacity at the Super Bowl halftime show. Okay, so let me get this straight. These wingnuts on the right should be laughed at, pointed at, and mocked, and yet you can cite TMZ. And then when you do say take it with a grain of salt, but the people that I'm joking about this on the right are dead serious, and that means Donald Trump is going to lose. Ass. So, yeah, that's what's going on. If it sounds like I'm losing my mind about this, it's only because I'm sick and fucking tired.
I think,
I'm just over it.
Yeah, everybody that I know on the right is actually just sick and tired of seeing the whole Swift thing simply because they honestly just wanted to watch the game. They didn't need the distraction. They don't care. They really do not care. I could care. No, I cannot care any less who she's dating, if she's dating one of the guys on the team, if she's dating the referee, if she's dating both. I don't. But for God's sake, if I'm watching a game, you don't cut away in the middle of a fucking play to go see that, to go show that she is actually entering the hallway on her way to the box. I'm like,
okay, Terry, I got to interrupt your analysis here. Sorry. I mean, we're going to get back to that at some point in time, but we just got word that Taylor Swift's car is in the parking lot and pulling up to the stadium. Let's go to our live exclusive in the parking lot.
Seriously, we were watching the last Dallas Cowboy game when they choked, and they cut away from in the middle of a play to show her walking in the hallway on her way to the box. And I'm like, I was just like speechless. Why would you do that? Why?
I would have loved it if they had somebody with the telestrator Now, she's going to come in this walkway. This is the same entrance, by the way, the players use. She's
Right?
going to walk about 200 feet over. Here is where a sharp left turn is going to be taken. You see on the right there, that is a service elevator. She will not be taken out, so it's going to the left. And you see highlighted right here in red, those are the doors. The individual with the suit coat there is going to verify tickets. He's been notified ahead of time. We've been told ahead of time, so he doesn't need to verify her ticket. He'll be hitting the door button for her, at which point it will ascend upward to the box. And I think we have Jennifer in the hallway up in the club section. Jennifer, are you there, please?
I honestly, on the right, we just see the exhaustion. That's all I see is the sheer exhaustion of this whole Swift situation. On the left, I see people pissed off that we're exhausted about it.
Yeah.
But we're not pissed off. We're just mad that we just want to watch football, and we're prevented from doing so because she's literally taking the oxygen out of it. Now, whatever. She's dating the guy. She's happy right now. For now.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't want to take away any of that excitement because, this is a first for her, too. She's never been in this.
They've lasted 4.5 months?
I will give her this. Her prior boyfriend, they lasted over 5 years. But you know why? Because he was not famous. He was not in anybody's, Zoom lens. He just kept quiet and very private. And then the moment people found out about it, their relationship fell apart. And so, but that one was her longest lasting relationship because they kept it quiet. I think the one with Loki, Tom Hiddleston, I think that one lasted like 3 dates.
Really? She dated Hiddleston.
Yeah, she did. And well, and like I said, it lasted only 3 dates. The third date, he was with his parents and they met her and everything. And they decided not to date anymore after that. And I have always wondered if it was due to the fact that his parents found her too American or she found them too British. You know what I mean?
Do all of you people sound like that? Ugh.
No, it's just Hiddleston, for all that he is always playing a bad guy or whatever, is extremely gentlemanly. He really does believe in the whole chivalry thing. As a matter of fact, he was criticized because the paparazzi wanted him to put his arm around Hermione, Emma, what's her name? And she was wearing a long skirt, and a half shirt midriff type of top, so that her stomach and her flanks were exposed. And he says, no, mate, I cannot do that. I can't, because she does not have any clothing there, and I cannot touch her there. I mean, seriously, he's extremely gentlemanly about the whole thing. So I can only wonder if, my guess is that she found his family to be too straight-laced. That's why it just did not work. So I'm thinking he dodged the bullet. He really did. So
I could have solved this problem with Emma too. I mean, if he didn't want to, touch her bare skin, he could have just grabbed her ass.
Well, I just, in my opinion, it was
just saying. I'm a gentleman. See. That was the part where you were supposed to agree with me. That part right there.
Yes, you are such a gentleman, Pat. Oh my God. But anyway, yeah. So she does have a history, and it is unfortunate that she chooses her experiences, such as they are, to put them onto paper and to make a song about them. And most of the time, it's not flattering to the guy. And it makes me wonder if the guy is always the one that's breaking up with you or that has broken your heart or everything, maybe the problem lies with the people that you're picking. And it's your taste in men, and this is why it's not working for you. Now, I'm not going to obviously, I'm not laying the blame at her feet for what the guy does, his actions or lack thereof, but you got to break that cycle if you want to be happy.
I mean, it's kind of like when, an actor, I couldn't really do much with that. The script was horrible. You mean the one you agreed to shoot?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the first thing that happens in the making of a movie. You are given a script, yes or no, comes from you. That's your decision. So yeah, your choices have to step to the fore at some point in time here. Is that's possible? But
no, I have a friend that we've talked about this before. He falls for the same type of woman every single time, and he is currently living in Mexico and is wondering about his life choices. I'm just waiting.
Starting with, how the hell did I end up in Mexico? I mean, it's fun to visit, but yeah.
Exactly.
Living there year round.
Well, the thing is, he cannot tell anybody what he used to do for a living, because what he used to do for a living actually put a lot of the people in Mexico behind bars. So, but he did it over here in the States, because he's a
barista. Got it.
Let's go with that.
Oh, no, I make coffee. That's what I do. I put the coffee in a cup and I just do the foam. You want the foam? I got the leche. Leche and bubbles.
With the lemon twist. The lemon twist.
Yes. Surge.
Espresso with the lemon twist. Oh, he's back, by the way, in the new installment.
Heard that.
Yes, I'm excited. I am so excited. You cannot possibly understand how excited I am about this.
You're right. I can't.
For those of you who are wondering what the hell I'm talking about, there's going to be a Beverly Hills Cop 4. And Serge is back. And I'm so excited because I love Serge.
I go in the bag and make the espresso with a little twist.
Yes, he was so great.
I'm still cracking up that Eddie Murphy's going to be 65 years old and is a street cop still. That's
it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to see that, especially in a place like Detroit.
That'll be hilarious to watch. And I'm still trying to reconcile the whole Roadhouse thing. That just
I don't understand that at all. There are some things that are sacred. There are sacred cows in the movie business. That's one of them. And it doesn't have to be a classic film for it to be a sacred cow.
Oh, Roadhouse is not. Well, it's a classic for people like ourselves.
Yes, exactly. But it doesn't have to be a Casablanca in order for it to be a sacred cow. And this is a sacred cow. And I cannot believe that they're doing this.
They actually tried to remake Point Break, which I would put in the same category as Roadhouse, probably a notch below.
I would put it below.
It still cracks me up too that Catherine Bigelow made that movie. I mean, her fingerprints are all over, you can tell, but it's just like she tried her ass off. I'll give her that, but that script just wasn't there. And
no.
Just, I'm sorry, it's magnificent mess. But they remade that for some reason with nobody in it, and nobody saw it, and nobody went to see it. It just, don't do it. Don't. No. Replicate that kind of magic. Don't rip it off. Leave it alone. So, like, if you told me you were going to have Jake Gyllenhaal in a movie in the Florida Keys where he's trying to rescue it, like, don't call it Roadhouse. Make it an independent production. And
like an inspiration of, Roadhouse. I could understand that in the tradition of.
I know they want to coast off of it and crap, but if you made it an independent, like its own entity, standalone intellectual property. In fact, there's enough departure from the original that you would have gotten away with it. To the point people are saying, you know what, this feels a little like Roadhouse. I can see what they're going for here. Fine. Putting Roadhouse on it, though, no. Because let me tell you, you're never going to dig low enough to reach that bar. There's just certain things that cannot be achieved, and replicating the subterranean magic that was Roadhouse is not one you can repeat. So I'm probably still going to watch it in some capacity because, yes, it's probably going to be stupid, and yes, it's cutting the Florida Keys. So, okay, obligated to watch now.
We have to watch it because for the same reason we watch a train wreck. This is why. We have to watch it.
I don't know that I'm going to come away with appreciation or such, but I still have to, you know. There's a difference between rubbernecking on a highway and then pulling over and getting involved in the wreck itself.
Which I have done.
Roadhouse made you put the car in park, is what I'm saying, okay?
True. Yeah, so. But, you know, there have been some highlights in the past week that, well,
sure.
Some.
Did you happen to catch the magnificence of our president taking a visit with the United Auto Workers this past weekend?
I did catch it.
Joseph Biden wanted to commiserate with the blue collar workers there, and he's glad handing and making a complete mess of things as only Joe can. Stumbling and mumbling and bumbling and like, hey, let's this that you over there and the guy with the thing and the stuff. Let's take a picture. And somebody thought it'd be a swell idea to have Lunch Pail Joe donning a hard hat for the photograph.
God. Oh, God.
Now, I'm absolutely amazed at the results of this. I'm not surprised. It's not like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. But we're talking about the leader of the free world. We're talking about a man that has dozens of handlers at any certain event because, let's face it, Joe needs them. And all the people that were just in attendance that favor the guy, think he's cool and all that.
Mm-hmm.
He puts on a hard hat, and nobody, including Joe, were aware of the fact that he wore it backwards.
That's the part that I found to be rather interesting.
Including Amy Klobuchar, who was there in attendance, took the photo and posted it on social media.
Well, she had the photo taken, but yes.
But the level of obliviousness, how far widespread it would have to be on site for this to transpire.
Well, that's just it. If it had been Biden, Klobuchar, and her press secretary or whatever, her assistant, if it had just been the three, I can understand it. There would have been no one to ask how to properly put this on. But there were two additional people in that photo that did know how to wear that hat. Now, somebody did mention that welders tend to wear them backwards. But they did not, they weren't wearing welding outfits. They did not have welding masks. They had nothing to indicate that these people were even welders. So
the guy whose helmet it was is in the photo. He's the one without a helmet on. Mm-hmm. And we know this because there's another shot of him wearing the helmet earlier. But
correct.
Yeah, some guys do this, but what they do is they take the inner framework, the chassis that goes around your head. They take that out and flip it so that the brim is in the back so that it doesn't interfere. They're bending over. They still wear it correctly, however.
Correct.
So there's Joe with this big honking knob, the tightening knob that's supposed to be at the base of your skull. If you look at any hard hat or, safety harness helmet for that matter, bike helmet or anything of the sort, it runs around your head and then the rear portion dips a little bit lower because that fits over the back of your skull and that's how it fits properly. And then these hard hats have a dial. You turn it, tightens, snugs it in, and now it's configured to your skull appropriately. Yes, exactly. I said skull.
So it doesn't fly off or fall off or whatever. Yes, you did.
So Joe is sitting there beaming in the photograph with this big fat dial planted on his forehead, looking like a complete goof. And nobody hipped him to this. It's like, oh my God. And somebody saw that. I mean, as soon as this went on the internet, everybody was just laughing and pointing it out. And someone even said, hey, same energy. And there was a picture of Dukakis in the tank. And that asinine shot of John Kerry wearing complete
the bunny suit, yes,
scrubs climbing out of some I forget even what the photo op was, but a big ass grin on his face.
He was wearing the clean room bunny suit because he was in the clean room area of the of one of the shuttles, I believe. So, yeah, that's where he was at. But I'm like, everybody remembers Mike in the Tank. Everyone remembers how disastrous that was. And it's the same vibe, same energy.
But what cracks me up even further, me, of course.
Of course you.
Media policeman that I am. Snopes, the fact-checking website.
Oh, that was glorious.
The final arbiters of the truth came out in defense of Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
No. He did not wear it backwards. No, absolutely not. False, they said. Stop sign, glaring red. We analyzed the photographs and looked intently at them, and the brim of the head is clearly facing forward as it should be. You dumb shits. The best part of this, apart from them getting lit up by the entire internet, was the fact that they actually posted a picture of Joe outside glad-handing with everybody, including the individual whose hard hat it was, who's wearing the hard hat properly.
Correct.
They presented that as evidence. It's like, guys.
I mean, it was a glorious cell phone.
Not only are you wrong, but you're posting the proof. And still declare. This is why I love the fact checkers. Because they just have this freaking attitude of them. Let us explain this to you properly here. Excuse us. One side, please. Come through with the facts. Excuse me. Dipshits. I mean, you could not, and this is a stupid story, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like this moved the political needle in any capacity, but you have one job, and what it take? A couple of hours. There you are. No, absolutely false. Oh, editor's note. Turns out it's completely true.
It was the most ridiculous, and it could have been. It could have been completely avoided. Just a simple check. But honestly, I think the gentlemen that were there that knew how to put on the hard hat did not want to correct it simply because they didn't want to embarrass the president in front of anyone, and they didn't think anybody else would catch on.
I
can't think of anything else.
Okay, if it was me, I'd have the stones to do it. I'd be like, hang on, wait, don't take the shot yet. Mr. President, you flip the hat. You don't want that on the internet. Do it. Just take my word. Trust me. Yeah. Go poll the room before. See what, or at the very least, go up to his handler. It's like, hey, by the way, I don't want to embarrass him, but go tell your boss to flip the hat over. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, nobody had the nuts to do that. Okay. The internet in America thanks you. Jeez.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous, pretty sad, but
no, it was hilarious.
Okay, yes, it was funny.
I mean, if you ever needed photographic evidence of both his slide in mental capacity and the complete ineffectiveness of the fact checkers, this whole story had it all wrapped up in one.
And that's just it. It is sad because everybody is watching this outside of the U.S. too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Oh, damn. Did you see what Saturday Night Live did?
No, what? Oh, God, what? What?
Love this so much. Okay. First off, you just know that there are a bunch of smug sons of bitches there, right?
Yes.
Manhattanites, we know better. The rest of the country's stupid. Let us tell you what's going on here. All right. You probably don't get anything more smug and sanctimonious than Weekend Update with Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Right.
All right. I'll give the guys props. They can be funny at times. At times. Not every time. But if you listen to the audience, oh my God, every single thing that comes out of their mouth is the most funniest thing ever. And I have to clap. Let me clap. I'm clapping now because it's so funny. Now, Joe Biden, just talked about it. Completely mirthful, mockable, risable. This guy rolls out of bed and you got a shit ton of material. Okay. They never touched Joe Biden on Saturday Night Live.
No.
Like ever.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you want to talk about low-hanging fruit. There you go. But these people must have a fructose intolerance or something, so they avoid it entirely. Oh, but Donald Trump.
Oh,
they tried to make fun of Donald Trump's mental faculties. He's sliding. The guy's going downhill. And this is what they offered up as proof. He had a speech he was given this week. And I was saying, quite surprised, he was actually talking about policies. How about that? Weird.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about the financial system, talking about the banks, and we got to get on top of the banks because what these people are going to do is come after your accounts. They can target you and they can start debanking you. If they don't like what you're doing, you can get the banks, your accounts frozen. Colin Jost just loses it on this. Donald Trump is completely sliding. What the heck is debanking? I've never even heard of this. And he's just ridiculing Donald Trump as just losing his mind for using a valid financial term that Colin Jost has never heard of. And it's like, okay, listen, I'm by no means a Wall Street wizard, but I was at least audibly familiar with the term. I've heard this used before. But he said that Donald Trump made this up. Just, this guy's losing it. He's making up words as he goes, debanking? What is that? He needs to go to D-hospital.
That was just so niggardly. See what I did there?
You can send your emails to aggiereekin@klrn.com. No,
I will never forget that. That was one of the most ridiculous things that ever happened.
That's racist, I'll have you know. And here's a dictionary, I'll have you know. But no, this is everything was just so perfect about this. The smugness, the condescension. He's losing his mind. The guy's bat crap crazy. Making up a term like debanking. It's like, Colin, that's an actual financial term. Just put a little bit of a cherry on top of this nugget of Saturday Night Live being unintentionally funny for the first time. Colin Jost is a graduate of Harvard University.
No. Get out. Seriously?
Oh, yeah, seriously.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, he's, I think he was even editor of the Harvard Lampoon, if I'm not mistaken. Yes,
wow.
He's a graduate of 2004. And by the way, David Hogg thanks you for making him look better, Colin.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. Pretty much. But you know the whole banking thing. I mean, there are so many people who are financially illiterate. They really are. I mean, we were just discussing this about the palm print. You know, people are like, yes, I can now pay for everything with my palm print. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, what are you doing? Are you insane?
Like, haven't you seen National Treasure?
Seriously, it's just
as soon as he swiped his credit card. I just love the reaction of his partner. He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I had $23 and it was $25. I had to swipe my dude. You're on the grid.
We're on the grid." That was so great. But you know, there has been this push to, you know, get chipped and do all our financial stuff digitally and to do away with money. And I mean, and it's coming every year. You know, they get together over in Davos and they start talking about this whole shit again. And they're not just coming after your own patch of vegetables that you grow, which, by the way, they said that is a danger to climate because a lot of CO2 is produced. And I'm going, what? I'm growing my own potatoes and it's causing CO2. How? Oh, yeah, because they, take in CO2 in order to grow. No. That's not how they mean it. And I'm like, these people are insane. If you're growing your own food, nothing is going to market. You're not wasting any gas. You're not wasting any electricity. Nothing. You're growing your own food. But they don't want you to grow your own food. Just like they don't want you to drink coffee either. They say that now coffee is one of the worst things to happen to the planet because it causes too much CO2 pollution and we need to start curtailing that. And I'm like, you want to see pissed off people? You take away their coffee. You will never see a pissed off person like you would someone that was just told you can't have your coffee. I have seen people lose their ever-loving minds at a coffee place because they were out of their preferred roast.
Okay, listen, that only happened, 3 times, but.
But no, and now they are actually endorsing that you not own anything. They want you to start renting everything that you need in your life in order to make yourself comfortable.
Well, you're doing something they didn't control.
Exactly. When you own something, they cannot take it away from you. But when you rent it, they can. And they don't want to stop at your refrigerator or your sofa. And there's no such thing as rent to own in their scenario. They want you to rent everything. So you have no little plot of land of your own. You don't have your own home. You have to rent an apartment. You cannot, you rent your vehicle. And guess what? You might not be able to rent your vehicle. You'll have to rent a bus collectively that will take the people that live in your apartment complex to where they work. You see where this is going? And I'm like, I like my books. I like my furniture. I like my glass. I have an entire collection of glass that you guys would not believe that I've been doing for the past couple of years. I love it all. And I'm not going to be renting an etagere to display my pieces of glass that I rent. But guess what? You wouldn't be renting pieces of glass. You would not be renting stuff to decorate the place where you live because you don't need that anymore. And this is the danger of these people. These people, what was called the Davos man. Remember that term?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is what they are.
But the thing is, these are people that own islands and airplanes, their own yachts. It's acceptable for when they start doing what they're commanding of others. Well, I'm still not going to listen, but I might take them a little more seriously. But there they are telling we need to move we need to move the planet onto a bug-based diet.
Oh yeah, they don't get tired of
while carving into prime rib and other
Wagyu, Kobe, you name it. Which, by the way, doesn't grow there. It has to be shipped in. So, yeah. they keep pushing. Bugs are more nutritious. Yeah, that's why the birds are happy. But guess what? We are not designed to digest chitin. Chitin is what?
You don't even you're going a little too far ahead. All you have to do, no, that's it. Okay, how about that?
No.
You don't have to explain why. You don't have to give us details and
listen,
digestion. It's like, no. How about this? Fuck off with that idea, Mr. Davos. There you go.
Here's the thing. I've actually eaten insects before. I've actually had sautéed Chinese noodles.
Did you get Joe Rogan's autograph?
No, I did not. Stop. But Chinese sautéed Chinese beetles, really, it's like eating a little peanut, but it has to be prepared. You must remove the exoskeleton. You must remove, and it's just the thorax. You don't eat, the rest of it. It's
You're
just
really
the thorax.
Not selling this.
No, I'm trying to. I know. I'm not here to sell you on eating this stuff. I'm just telling you, they have to prepare this in a specific way. The cricket flour that they're selling and encouraging you to buy now as an alternative to wheat flour or almond flour or fill in the blank flour, that's not being processed correctly. They just take the damn crickets and pulverize them. They don't remove the chitin. And that's a problem because we cannot digest chitin. And that will eventually cause you to have really bad ulcers. It can rupture your intestines. It can cause all sorts of bad things to happen to you. And these people don't think ahead. They do not think of the possible. They don't care. They don't care. They just want you to do this because it's for the better good, for the greater good, for the planet. No. This planet has had at least 2 global killers and it's still here. It's not going away until the sun does.
I mean, it's like Michael Crichton said in the book. It's, if you think your ego is large enough to believe that you can take care of a planet that's been here for billions of years, that's you problem.
Yeah, it takes an enormous arrogance to think that we can control this planet. You just can't. And it's incredible to me that there are people out there thinking, well, we can do this. This is viable. No, it's not. Because the one thing that they always underestimate is human nature.
This is easy because all you got to say is no. Because look, they've tried this whole bull crap with, you have to have the immaculate burger made out of soy. No, I don't.
No, I don't.
Hey, we're making pizza now with asparagus, cauliflower crust. You should really try it. It's fabulous.
No.
Get your shit out of my face.
Be ungovernable.
Thank you. Yes. I am the seagull on top of the no seagull sign.
I mean, I'm not even. I don't want to go there, but I'm going to go there. I mean, can you imagine what that would do? Eating this kind of stuff to our body waste products.
I mean, I'd love when, like vegans try to explain, the body can't properly process the meat products and the steaks. Mine is no problem.
Bullshit.
Okay, I don't need your life hack, carrot boy. Just go nibble on your asparagus or whatever, have your celery suppository if that's what makes you happy. I'm going to be over here eating what I want to eat. And I don't want to smell you or your patchouli. So just.
I tried to give you a segue, but no, you didn't take it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went off. Go ahead. Try again.
Can you imagine what this would do to our bodily waste products? Because I know you have a story.
I don't have a story. I have a scientific study of
That's right.
high repute that we need to share with the masses.
Sort of high repute? Maybe. This was not my idea. I'm just going to put that right out there. This was not my idea. This is your story.
I've already claimed it. This is
it's all on you.
I understand that you are a science denier, but I like to look at data that's been arrived at through very disciplined study and analysis. So don't bring your flat earth tendencies here. I have very important scientific data. We finally figured out why piss is yellow.
I just can't. I mean, didn't we cover this in high school health class?
Well, I don't know. Did you? Tell me. See, you don't know, do you? I'll have you know. The yellow color comes from a bacteria that's metabolizing waste from our red blood cells.
Mm-hmm.
It's an enzyme that has actually eluded scientists for quite a while, but now it is known as bilirubin reductase. It was recently identified by a researcher, an assistant professor of the University of Maryland, who spent... I'm sorry, I have to stop there. Can you imagine, you're going to like Thanksgiving dinner? Oh, geez, we're so proud of Brad. He's going to to University of Maryland. He's getting his doctoral thesis there. He's just so. Brad, explain to everybody what you're tell everybody, because we want everybody to know. What are you doing? I'm studying urine. Figured out why it's yellow. Because of the stuff that happens in your guts turns it yellow. I mean, it just that. I understand. Like, I've never understood what would drive somebody to get into urology, for instance. You've got just this majestic, complex machine that is the human body, and you want to focus on the piss track. That's your specialty. I'm curious what drives somebody to that. Like, what will? Yes, I've thought all about the physiology of the human, and I'm really, really interested in what takes place from the kidneys onward. That's just, I find it so fascinating.
Well, I mean, we do have an entire branch of medicine dedicated to urology for a reason. It's a very important.
I get that. I'm not denigrating the science.
But the thing is, the color. Why the color exists is really not as important as what different colors exist. Okay, that's the important part.
Well, I've seen at times where like doctors will tell you too, like if the color is like excessively yellow or something, that could be like a vitamin imbalance or such. Like sometimes like if people are sick and they're
every time I take my B complex, it's like neon. So then I know that's too much information, but it's true.
Here's something that they don't address in this, and it's yet another micturition mystery, if you will, that I'm waiting for science to tackle. This comes from some excessive field study after years and years of happening. And I'm sure some guys in chat will attest to this if they're brave enough. Don't puss out on me, guys. But you'll have those instances where, let's say you're driving down the road, or maybe you're at the ball game or something. You have to go, but for a while you have to sustain it. Can't relieve instantly. It has a buildup until you're to the point of it's just like, damn it, I can't stop no more. I got to go. So you go. It's in those instances that your urine has zero color. Literally. And I'm dying to know why. It's like, what happens? What's in it? Where does it go? Does it ever come out of you? Do you lose that? And now that they know what the coloring is, this orange pigment that gets released by the bilirubin from the red blood cells after they die off, and gut microbes use it, break it down into the urobiologen that they called it, and degrades into the yellowish color. Where does all that go if you have to really hold it? That's the part that I don't understand, and I've yet to have anybody explain. I'm going to have to do some research on this, apparently, since nobody else will. I don't get it, but there you go. We've solved the color mystery.
Well, I guess somebody got paid for this, and more's the pity that we suckers did not think of it first.
Yes.
Honestly, we really need to think of some ridiculous studies to pitch so that we can have free money. Because if my taxpayer money is going to this shit, I want it back. Somehow.
Well, I'm trying to even picture you're in med school and got to go back to the piss lab again this morning. That place can't smell good is all I'm saying. But, what's going to happen when you see the results of excessive drinking? I'm trying for a segue here.
Well, if you're drinking from a very large cup, you're going to make a lot of, you're going to need to go to the bathroom a lot. So
there she is. She's picking up when I'm laying down. So,
I try.
Oh, well done. Yeah, that leads me to a question.
Mm-hmm.
What in the hell is wrong with you bitches?
Dude, I can't even give you a short list. My short list is several volumes long.
We've entered the era now of the hyper passionate responses to the Stanley Cup. And it's aggravated me no end because every single time I see this in a headline or something, never are they talking about hockey. Women are losing their collective minds over the double-walled, insulated metal drinking apparatus that's been around for years, but oh my God, this one has a handle. So yeah, the Stanley Cup is like literally all the rage.
Yeah, and I kind of understand it. And Stanley has they took the opportunity. It was a once in a lifetime, I guess, advertising gem that fell into their laps. This lady, her vehicle caught fire, and they were interviewing her, and she said, "Yeah, everything got burned. The only thing that survived was my Stanley Cup," and she was holding it. And the internet went insane with this thing. So I can kind of understand where the whole, where Stanley decided, hey, we should really roll with this, that kind of thing. And they did. And
well, I don't fault the company in any capacity.
No, this is not Stanley's fault at all. This is just the insanity that it's literally a social contagion going on. It's just not one that will affect your health, except if you try stealing it.
The company's doing the right thing here. It's like my people say, the Dutch, you got to bend the metal when it's hot. So they're doing so. Go for it. Hit it. But I just don't understand the hype and hysteria about this. There is no shortage of metal cups on the market. The fact that it's got a handle, really, that makes all the damn difference. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I mean, it's convenient. Yeah, it's easier. But ultimately, though, keeping the beverage cold, hot, or whatever the hell you're drinking, there's plenty of them out there. I know this because plenty of them are in my cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drinking out of a teal-colored one at the moment right now because for some reason mine got thrown away.
Was it an ugly color?
It was steel.
It was an ugly color.
It don't got no color. It just a cup. So, of course, that one has to go. But there's a pink, and there's the blue, and there's teal, and there's a royal blue, and I think one is marine, and another has colors and Christmas decorations on it. Thank you, Aggie. And one's got the grandchildren's photograph on it, and ain't none mine, my point. So, I'm drinking out of one from the Seattle Kraken, I guess. I don't know.
Personally speaking, I don't own any Stanley. I do have Stanley thermoses, the vintage ones. Remember the plaid ones? I have those.
I had the red and black.
I have the tan with the red and the black, and I'll take pictures and I'll send them to you. But I have those, and they still work great. They're still awesome, and I do use them when we have to go out on the property to fell a tree or clear a path or something. I'll take something, especially in the winter. I'll put, hot chocolate in it, and we'll take it out there, and it's kind of nice to have those. But as far as
the one I've got here, I had coffee at the start of the show, still hot, still piping, still drinking it. They work.
They do.
I don't need a handle.
Now, personally speaking, I don't have Stanley, though I did catch on to the Stanley craze. I refuse to buy Yeti. I just refuse to buy Yeti straight out, right? No. But I like Arctic because it's made here in the U.S. and they're very pro Second Amendment. So I like that company. And so I have a couple of those. They don't have handles, but I don't need handles. You know, I just
Well,
don't need
the
the handle.
ladies do. There's a video out there of a Target store recently that put on the Stanley Valentine Edition. Came in either a rich crimson color or pink. And the ladies were actually standing in line outside the store and stampeded in when the doors cracked
Wow.
to go in and obtain their $60 metal cup with a handle.
Yeah, I don't see paying that much for. I mean, Swig is pretty popular. That's the brand that I sent your wife for Christmas,
Okay.
and it's really. I mean, I have one. I think I have two, possibly three of the wine style, because those are the ones that I like for my coffee.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the perfect size for a cup of coffee, and it keeps it hot forever. So I really like, that size.
Yeah, she
I
was
gave-
raving about the one that you got for her. She said, let you know that it was very effective and worked extremely well.
I bet. I bet it does. And I said, they're a big one, too.
Well, they're all
But,
the same
but
size
it was
in our
Christmas
house.
decorated, so I figured she was going to put it away with her Christmas stuff and then take it out for Christmas.
But she went to work one morning and had it in the car, and then she forgot about it. Came out in the afternoon, still had ice.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. It's just, I'm kind of, I want my money to stay stateside, so I like Arctic for that reason. Like Igloo
Makes sense.
too. So, but I was cracking up because I gave my brother an Arctic one a couple of years ago for Christmas. He was complaining that whenever he takes his, he's got remember in NCIS, the calf pow, that size?
Oh, right.
Right? He's got something big like that, like the big Slurpee or whatever it is.
64 ouncer?
Yeah, something. I don't know what it
48.
is. So he would complain that it didn't stay cold and it would sweat all over the place and blah, 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 blah. So I got him an Arctic that was 40 ounces. And I sent it to him. He's like, this is the most glorious thing ever. And 2 weeks later, I get this. Where did you buy it? Because mine has been stolen. I was like, you're kidding. Who would steal it? I was like really upset. And he said, my wife. So I sent another one. I had to send another one. But, they're very popular for that reason. They do, everything stays, if you pour hot stuff in it, it stays hot. Or store cold stuff in it, it stays cold. I mean, it's a great design.
Yeah, but this is my entire point. There's nothing unique about the Stanley Cup besides the handle.
No, there isn't.
Doesn't do anything different, doesn't perform any better or worse. It's the same.
And actually,
charging-
Swig makes some with handles too. I've seen both Arctic and Swig make them with handles as well, and I believe Igloo does too. So it's not even the handle. I mean, I don't understand the thing about the handle. There are others that have handles too.
Okay, then what the hell?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But apparently, it's very popular, right?
Yeah, but to this degree, there was a Stanley Cup heist.
No.
Yes. A woman actually walks into a Target and fills up a cart, walks out with the cart, doesn't pay for anything in the cart, filled with 65 Stanley Cup boxes. Like literally, this was like a smash and grab, but just for Stanley Cups.
Oh, wow.
So, what? And what cracks me up even more about this, we've seen all these stories in San Francisco and elsewhere where like moms will go in, People will rush into a Lululemon and race out of the store with their arm filled with thousands of dollars of Lululemon, and everybody just, oh, well, there's nothing we can do. This, however, constituted a call to the police. Tracked her license plate, ran her down, got her on the highway, pulled her over, obtained all the cups. This is what got the authorities in action. Stanley Cups.
Stanley Cups. Not diamonds. Not money. Stanley Cups.
Yeah, so if you, I guess, want to stop store thefts that have been sweeping this nation, there you go. Make it a Stanley Cup and the police will jump into action and take care of business. Yeesh. Well, there was one theft, however, that the police could not get to the bottom of. There's this tradition in, I don't know, Catholic circles. You've heard of Fat Tuesday?
Of course.
He says jokingly, because my co-host is getting primed to no longer drink on the cocktail hour for, I don't know, half the year.
It's not half the year. It's literally 46 days. That's it.
My God.
Everybody makes this big deal about it. It's only 46 days. Literally a month and a half.
I don't think you understand the pain this delivers to me.
To you? I'm not making you stop.
I know, but
if
it's
anything,
still,
you should pick up my slack.
it's a violation of all I believe in. It
Okay.
flies directly in the face of the thrust of our program, the cocktail lounge. You know, it just
Because just look at me as the female Sam Malone. The reason that Sam Malone had a bar was that he was a recovering alcoholic. He put himself in that position so that he could stay sober.
Well, the actual storyline is he bought the bar while he was a drunkard, and then he drank himself out of the game, and he screwed himself out of all his assets, and the only thing he was left over with was the bar.
The bar. And he stuck with it instead of selling it.
So it
there you
became ironical.
Yes.
But
So you can call me Sammy Malone. Aggie Malone. It's just 46 days, Brad. It's not going to kill me. It's certainly not going to kill you.
No, but it still pains. It just doesn't feel right.
That's not all I give up either.
I know. What is it? Fatty foods, sugar, caffeine.
No. Okay.
Oxygen.
Here's the thing.
And
I do not give up caffeine. I gave up caffeine 1 year and I learned my lesson. So I give up junk food, fatty foods, all desserts, all sugars, all processed sugars. I mean, I'll still eat fruit and stuff like that. Sodas, which is actually, I've pretty much given up soda. So I don't know why I still include it on the list. And of course, alcohol. So I give up anything that brings me joy. It is a season for penitence. So there's that.
Well, I still don't understand or approve of your ways, but I'm not going to condemn you for it. But in that light, for Fat Tuesday coming up, story comes out of New Orleans. A local bakery was robbed in the middle of the night of 7 king cakes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
I don't either.
It's not like these are cost prohibitive. I mean, even if they were gourmet, what are they going to run? About $10?
Actually, they can be pretty pricey. I mean, there's the The bakery in Shreveport that my sister's getting hers for their party, for where her husband works and everything, it's $79 for a king cake.
What?
Yeah. I'm like, you must be high. I don't understand why you're doing this. I would just buy cupcakes and decorate them with purple and yellow and green icing.
Get them at the
and deal
grocery
with
store
that.
bakery for like $5. And I'm sure there's probably somebody in New Orleans. Oh no, but those are real king cake. No kidding, they're not. And I'm not a real Catholic either. So there you go. This is kind of like Cinco de Mayo. You celebrate it because it's fun, not because you're earnest.
No, we all know why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo. It's because it's an excuse to just buy beer and tequila. That's it.
And tacos.
No, tacos are year round.
Well, so's tequila and beer. I mean, there's nothing
I know that
takes place
I know
at
that.
Cinco de
Some people
Mayo
do
that
not.
doesn't take place all year. It's just, well, I think we have to by law, don't we? It's that kind of thing.
I suppose so, yes. You have a point.
And by the way, I find it also a tad self-ironic when you sit here and complain about the WEF making us eat bugs. That'll never happen, except for that worm in the bottom of the bottle. Yeah, you'll gobble that down, won't you, Mr. Sanctimony? But yeah, this heist takes place. The best information to come from the police is they believed that they could only carry 7 at a time. I don't know. Maybe they're really tall boxes or something. I'm not sure, but that was the professional assessment. Beyond that, they had nothing else to go on. Oh, and the individual also stole a case of vodka.
Oh boy, okay.
So if you're in the New Orleans area and you go to a party where they have king cakes and Tito's, please contact local authorities. Because I'm sure only one party in New Orleans can be described as such on Fat Tuesday. Oh, you're the guy with king cakes and vodka. What else do we got? Anything on your side of the ledger?
Oh, I did not want to. Okay, I'm mad.
You're going to have to narrow this down.
It's always the fucking Jesuits. Always.
Speaking of Catholics, yes, go on.
It's not bad enough that I have a pope that is now calling to open greater dialogue, those are his words, and cooperation between Christians and Marxists. He honestly believes that we can achieve a common good between the two of us. And I'm like, we're incompatible. If there were a way to achieve a common good with Marxism would not constantly try to ban Christianity, jail the practitioners, kill the people delivering the sermons. There's a reason why. I don't know if you remember when Pope Benedict was still Pope, active Pope, I should say. The list of cardinals came out, and there was one name on the list that nobody knew, and it was what they called kept close to the vest, which is a term that's used when they keep the name secret. So the only person that knew this name was the Pope. The reason for that was that this man, it was suspected, was in a region where Catholicism, Christianity, Judaism, all of these religions were considered unlawful. In which case, anybody practicing this religion, if they were caught, would be either jailed for many, many years or killed. So for the Pope to actually come out and say that we can come to an understanding for the greater good. He's either completely lost his mind or he is pushing Marxism into the Catholic Church. I don't think he has lost his mind. Or maybe it's both. Maybe it's both. But if that weren't bad enough, he actually came out the other day and basically thanked journalists for the job that they do. But he thanked them in a really weird way. He didn't come out and say, thank you for exposing the bad. Thank you for chasing down the stories. Thank you for holding feet to the fire. He didn't say anything like that. His words were very, what's the word I'm looking for? I always forget the words in English. They were problematic.
Obsequious.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one, But he basically thanked them for the delicacy that they employ in speaking about the scandals in the church. An abashed silence that they keep when they speak of these things or when they don't. And he thanked them for this attitude. And I'm like, oh my God. I always knew, you know how I felt about him ever since he was cardinal. He was responsible for covering up the biggest sex scandal in church history. And I'm not talking about here in the United States. This is, so here in the United States, we hear about all of these scandals in the Catholic Church, right? And they're always calling Catholics, pedophiles and, they throw really vile names towards the clergy and all that stuff. And sometimes rightfully so. They even made a movie, Spotlight, about uncovering one of the biggest church scandals in Boston. Okay. So yes, but that's here in the United States. You never hear about these scandals in other parts of the world. They happen. Trust me. As a matter of fact, the biggest one was in the entire country of Chile. I'm not even joking. It was the entire Catholic Church in Chile. And this man, who is now Pope, covered it up. And this is why I have a really big issue with him. He does not have the interests of the Catholic Church. He has the interests of furtherance of Marxist ideology. Because he himself is one. He has always been one. So for him to actually come out and say the way he said towards journalists, thank you for keeping quiet and for not alarming everybody. You guys are doing a phenomenal job.
We appreciate your delicate approach to this. Your discretion is appreciated.
Since when is something this vile and this hurtful needing delicacy to be handled? If anything, it's like pulling that Band-Aid off a raw wound. You need to expose that shit. But no, he's saying that. And I'm like, oh my God, it's worse than I even imagined when he was chosen. I had serious doubt that, and now I'm just like, this man is out to destroy the church. I just don't see any, I can't not understand why he would say the things he says and does the things he does, because it's leading towards the destruction of the Catholic Church. He's not elevating anything. So, yeah, I've been mad since last Tuesday, and of course, my anger was averted by the primary in New Hampshire. So,
well, I think you bottled it up rather nicely.
Oh, I was very tame because there were some words that I wanted to say. I decided not to.
And much like the Pope, we appreciate your discretion.
Oh, just so annoying. So annoying. But anyway. But I guess that was pretty much the one that I was keeping close to the vest. See what I did there?
Well, hopefully this I don't know, helped you? Did you purge this out? Did you?
The problem that I have is that I cannot talk to my mom about this because it's just I don't want to get her upset because you think I sound mad. This is nothing compared to the vitriol that this woman is capable of hurling towards the head of her church. So I try not to upset her with this stuff, but this is my only outlet when it comes to this kind of stuff.
So you're saying there's a chance of turning mom?
Oh, boy, there is.
Well, with great power comes great responsibility. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm just shirking the power for now. So anyway, I guess we're at the top of the hour, and I guess we should wind this up. Do you have anything else that you want to throw at me?
No, I think we covered everything rather well. We chewed through our dozen donuts. The box is empty. We can toss it.
Okay. So, Brad, take a deep breath and tell us where we can find you.
Well, I am available on a daily basis over at townhall.com, where you can find my daily column there on the media called Rift from the Headlines. Also featured prominently and regularly on the front page of Red State, where I also have my twice weekly podcast there called Liable Sources, diving even deeper into the muck and mayhem of the media of this country. And you can hear more of me on this very network. Thursday night, I'm going to be here with Paul Young from ScreenRant.com as we go through the dark side of Hollywood and bad movies on disasters in the making. Alternate Thursdays, you can hear me with Ordy Packard as he and myself guide you through all the important entertainment information on the culture shift. And then, of course, every Tuesday with the ever-effervescent Aggie Rican on this show, The Cocktail Lounge. And then if you need more of me than that, let's face it, you do. You head over to Jitter. I am at Martini Shark. So what about you, Aggie? How can people find more of your magnificence?
Well, you can find me at Aggie Rican and at Aggie the Barkeep. Those are over on X. You can also find me right here Tuesday nights, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, doing the Cocktail Lounge with the ever suave you. Friday nights, also 8:30 p.m. Eastern, doing He Said, She Said, of late with our great producer, Rick. Tomorrow night, it is the last Wednesday of the month, so please join us, 8 o'clock Eastern, for Toxic Masculinity. Join G, Rick, Ordy, Andrew, and myself as we bring on our babe of the month, which will be Alaskan Courtney. And the last podcast that I do, it's once a month. It is Spirited Books with our wonderful Jeff. We get together on the second Monday of every month, and we discuss our choices in books for the month, and we pair it with a libation that matches the book. So tune in for that, because that's always fun. Thanks so much for joining us, you guys, and I hope to see you tomorrow evening for Toxic Masculinity. Have a great evening.
Go raise a glass and look at the ceiling.